WB6CJ, this is N6IPD in Comvan. Go ahead.
It's been 3 years, but they're back in person. Members of IDEC for their annual Field Day event.
What's happening today is we have several radio stations set up, including a public outreach station, so any non-licensed person can step right up and get on the radio. This is kind of an open house for amateur radio, so we welcome the public, see who's interested. And secondarily, also it's a contest to see how many stations we can contact.
This is the one day, actually a 24-hour contest where amateur radio operators from across the US and Canada come together to showcase their equipment and skills that can help in the event of a crisis or a natural disaster.
We are Irvine Disaster Emergency Communications, and this is our opportunity to get out into the field, set up on battery and solar power, as if there were an outage on the mains or the cell phones were down and we were the last communications channel left.
And since this day is also dedicated to show the public their equipment and their capabilities, we're getting some extra insight as to when and how they would be deployed.
Well, we've had some local power outages. There was one about maybe 2-3 years ago where about a third of the city went dark, and they called us out to kind of drive around and survey, where the areas of the city were dark and report that back. They activated the EOC at the city. The big one hasn't hit yet, but that's what we're training for and preparing for if that ever happens.
And they have the equipment to help out law enforcement should that arise.
We're inside of IDEC's communications vehicle. The police department, fortunately, has helped fund this vehicle so that we can help respond in an emergency with backup communications.
While much of the technology and equipment in the vehicle is new, they still incorporate the basics.
So anything that kind of can be done over the internet, we can do here, but it does not rely on any infrastructure at all. So if the grid goes down, if cell phone service goes down, we're still able to transmit emergency information back to the city hall and the police department wherever we're positioned.
Their solar trailer also plays a big role in helping operations run seamlessly.
Well, we call this Solarcom, and Solarcom, a little quick history, it was at the Great Park before they had Wi-Fi over there, and this was a portable kind of a Wi-Fi that once they established their own, they didn't need this trailer. It sat idle for a number of years.
That's when IDEC eventually inherited its use for emergency communications and modified it for emergency management.
And it has the ability to take solar power, charge batteries, and then convert that to power any household type device that normally plugs in at home. So we've got 6 solar panels on there. They'll produce 1,800 watts of solar power. And we have 8 batteries in there. And then we have this big inverter that does the conversion back to 120 volts AC.
There's also a generator to back up the batteries in case they go down, and a tilt-up tower that equips the communications gear, antennas, and other devices to get above the trees so the communications can run as smoothly as possible during an emergency.
Charlie Yankee Papa, Kilo Mike 6, Foxtrot Zulu X-Ray.
With a team of more than 50 members, they are always looking to recruit new members. You do need an amateur radio license to become an IDEC member. So how do you get this license?
There are classes that sometimes offered, but you can also self-study if you just go online and Google how do I get my amateur radio license.
For more information on IDEC, visit their website.
Copy that. This is N6IPD clear.
For Irvine Scene, I'm Jacqueline Twegg.